Okay, so maybe you remember State Senator from Tennessee, Republican Stacey Campfield. He's the guy who's been on my show a couple of times. He had this bill that he's proposed a couple of times now, the Don't Say Gay bill, where teachers in Tennessee schools can't talk about homosexuality, can't talk about gay marriage. Anyway, I've had him on the show a bunch of times to talk about this. So I emailed him again today because the Don't Say Gay bill is back in the news. I guess it's now being called, or it's officially called, maybe it always has been, the Classroom Protection Act. So I sent him an email this morning. I said, hey, Senator, would love to have you back on the show to discuss the return of the Classroom Protection Act. Can we set something up? He wrote me back within about 20 minutes, and I'm showing you all these emails here saying, you edited down my comments the last time I was on your show to fit your agenda. Sorry. While I will go on shows with divergent points of view, I don't deal with slime reporters that do that sort of thing. Now, I take this pretty seriously because all of our interviews are taped, we do them live to tape. In other words, if the interview is 9 minutes, the interview we air is 9 minutes. The exception to this is if we have time constraints, we have to edit for time. We've agreed with the guest we have a certain amount of time, and that's where the interview needs to fit. Now, Stacey Campfield asked just before the interview started, how long is this going to be? And I confirmed with him we have 10 minutes. 10 minutes is what we have allowed slotted in today's show. If he had said at that point, I don't want this interview edited in any way, it's a rare request, but sometimes guests will say, particularly controversial guests, I'll agree to do the interview, but you can't do any editing of any kind. It's got to be start to finish. We've had that request a couple of times, and when people ask for that, we respect that and we do it. That being said, when we have a guest that goes longer than the allotted time, rather than constantly interrupting, I tend to let the conversation happen, and then we'll edit for time if necessary. So I went back, and after writing back to Senator Stacey Campfield saying, you know, you're making an ad hominem attack, I don't know what you're talking about, etc., I thought I should go back and look at this interview. Now, the interview in question is on YouTube. It's just under 10 minutes long. Exactly as we had agreed, we would have the 10 minutes, and exactly 3 edits were made. And I wrote to Senator Stacey Campfield about these 3 edits, and I said, you know what, I take this very seriously. I went back and looked at this. No edits were made to help our agenda in any case. And of the 3 edits that were made, one of them probably helped you not look like you were completely outside of the mainstream and out of the semblance of logic and reason that you probably hoped to portray but didn't. So let's look at the 3 edits, and we'll look at them one by one. Edit number 1 was at 5:15 in the original interview, which you can look at on YouTube. This is that edit, and you can tell because we have this wipe video transition, and there were 3 of these in the interview. Take a look.
Well, if you want to get online, I guess you can look that up yourself.
You've called anti-gay bullying a lark. We just went on about 20 or 25 extra seconds just arguing about his sources. Nobody made any points. He just cited sources, and I said I didn't think his sources were valid, and so on and so forth. No points were made. We just kept disagreeing for another 25 or so seconds. We removed it for time purposes. It didn't add or take away anything from the interview. Edit number 2 came almost immediately after, at 5:22 in the original YouTube video. Let's look at that. You've called anti-gay bullying a lark. What did you mean by that?
We already have it. Homosexuals are covered by anti-bullying laws, or are anti-bullying laws already.
Okay, so initially I asked a question about what does he mean by gay bullying being a lark. The answer he gave didn't really respond directly to the question. He was going on and on with all sorts of different stuff that, while it was to me actually pretty humorous, and maybe to the audience would have been humorous, the real point of the question was to get to the legislative proposal that he makes, and we edited out a section that, while entertaining, did not address the question and really wasn't going to help him look any better at all to get to the root of that answer. And that's what's gone there. Absolutely would not have made Mr. Campfield look any better to keep that. If anything, would have made him look worse. Now, there was a 3rd edit. The 3rd edit happened at 7:05 in the video. Let's look at that.
Well, actually, we don't teach that. Actually, and my bill would take care of that, because my bill, all it talks about is natural reproduction.
What's your reaction to our home state of Massachusetts here? Okay, so the section that was removed came immediately after Mr. Campfield said his bill is not about marriage, be it gay or straight, but it's simply saying this is about discussing natural reproduction, whatever that means, natural reproduction in the classroom. Nothing else was added in terms of anybody making any points in the section that was removed. Mr. Campfield simply continued to restate, as he sometimes does, it's not about gay or straight marriage, it's about natural reproduction. The removed section didn't change the nature of the interview, the tone, the message of Mr. Campfield's positions in any way at all. I believe that the accusation that I am a slime reporter is inaccurate, but I guess I have to wonder if someone like Senator Stacey Campfield of the Don't Say Gay Bill fame is saying that I am a slime reporter, maybe it's a good thing. Maybe it says something positive about what we're doing. I don't really know, but that is all the evidence. Judge for yourselves.